The more experienced people become, the more they realize it's how we communicate, manage, and lead others that most impacts our personal and professional lives. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of real-life experience and maybe even a little pain for us to discover that and decide to adjust how we work with others based on that experience. Conversations are often the most critical aspect of life. The challenge of leadership doesn't stop there. With all the information available about how we better work with each other, the only place to practice using any of it is in the real world, where there are real costs. It's easy to do case studies that show you the right thing to do, but it's very different when you actually have to do it in the real world. You're afraid people might not agree with you, or you're annoyed that they aren't listening to you, or you feel that your social capital may be jeopardized. All of those feelings can lead to a very tense situation. Let's take a look at a meeting that's in progress.
It's hard to believe we have only one warehouse left. Anyone have any ideas about how to handle the news?
Well, being the most senior member available at this point, I think I should be answering their questions. It would cause a lot of undue concern if I don't come forward with a statement about what happened.
Hold that thought. I think I should take on the press. See how much information they can get out of me. And I can tell you, I'll only let on as much as I want to expose.
So far, the press has been shooting completely in the dark. Now, if we could come up with a convincing cover story, it could significantly downplay any of the damages. We might wind up buying some stock points, some more time.
No, I don't think so. I think we should have Alan speak to the press and be as transparent as possible.
The more we can minimize the damage to the warehouse, the less we have to explain. I think I should take on the press.
No. Our company brand and credibility can only be improved if we show ourselves to be straight shooters and come clean with all the details.
You could probably see that these people were having a disagreement, and you might have even felt the frustration of conflict. But how are you supposed to assess this situation in the heat of the moment so you can choose the best options that will lead to a successful outcome? Imagine if there was a research-based method to help you see the conversational dynamic. What if you could visualize how you and other team members were impacting outcomes? Imagine if this same thought process allowed you to rapidly filter all your options down to the few best ones. Imagine if you could hone in this thought process in a simulator, helping you develop more effective, real-time critical thinking. Let me show you what I mean.
Hey, Alan, what do you think is the best thing for us to do?
I think by revealing only what we have to, we allow ourselves to rebound much more quickly.
Let's focus on how transparency can help our brand and our credibility. It really seems like the best way to go.
I appreciate your thoughts, Rosa.
Transparency does seem to be the way to go.
I think Alan has both the sincerity and the experience to help the press see this in the right light.
I'm glad we were all in agreement. Appearance by me should be really effective and take away any questions about withholding information. What else should we talk about?
Well, I'm glad we're not going to all sit around and do nothing.
Visualizing the leadership situation is only part of the solution, however. We also need a safe place for us to experiment, to be able to practice so that we can discover through our own experiences how to succeed. When we have our own experiences, the emotions involved cause us to learn lessons we keep for life, developing our emotional intelligence. But instead of the pain being real, such as failed projects, divorce, missed deliveries, blame, or being ousted from a social group, we need a place where we can make the mistakes we might make in the real world without a real-world consequence. We need a place where we can experience the emotions this generates for us. The fear, the courage, the uncertainty, even the frustration involved of leading others, and of course, the euphoria of success. And we need to do it in the complex environment of a multi-person dynamic where anyone can affect anyone else by what they say.
I'd like to hear what you think.
You've been managing to keep secrets. What's on your mind?
As is, I don't think it would make the right people happy. We had often talked about ways to build close and long-term customer relationships. We could use this scrutiny of the press as a bully pulpit to commit to ourselves to become a company with intimate knowledge of customer requirements.
I really appreciate your effort. I've always thrived on deep and lasting client relationships. Am I missing something?
I say, why not? This is certainly a tragedy, but it is also an opportunity to rebuild ourselves. Transition is never easy, though, even if it's for the better. What should we do next?
When you meet with SimuLearn's characters, you'll need to think dynamically. You'll have to take into account not just one, but everyone's verbal and nonverbal communications, and then decide in real time if and how you'll communicate. Rather than one pathway to success, you can chart your own course. And if it doesn't work out, you can reflect and make a new plan. This will help you practice developing new personal styles. SimuLearn programs have been independently studied and have shown that people who use our experiential method of learning develop their emotional intelligence, are more effective at collaborating and working in teams, more respected by their peers, perceived by subordinates as being more positive role models in their lives, and perhaps more importantly, their supervisors see them as having more leadership potential. But don't take my word for it. Get in there and experience it for yourself. Because instead of practicing in real life with potentially really bad consequences, you can practice in a SimuLearn program.
I know we have calls we have to make within the next half hour before the service outage. Any problems if we end this so we could go do it now?
Your work here has been excellent. We really appreciate your effort. Keep going.
Well, if we don't have any objections, this meeting is concluded.
Good work, everyone. Let's get to it.